Can you see me? Blown out in it, blown out of all proportion. I've come out to woods to treat the dog to a steak. He's been at wars, he's hurt his foot, got into a bit of a fight. Silly sausage got into a fight, didn't you? Hey? His foot. Oh! Okay. Alright, dude. Okay. We know. We know. So we've come out for day. Guy, you're teabagging my leg here, get off. I felt a bit guilty because he's not really been able to go on his long walks so much because he's got a bandage on and we don't want to keep opening wound. You know? So I felt a little bit sorry for him. So I thought, well, I'm off into the woods, so we'll take him, cook him up a nice little steak, and then just have a chat, mate, because the thing is, what was that? Big beetle. Yeah, I touched on it in one of my other videos, but dry January has gotten a little bit out of hand and I've still not had a drink. 28th of December was the last time I had a slurp. A swill. Swilliam Shakespeare. Do you know what? Instead of just touching on it, I'll make a dedicated video to it, just in case anyone's in the same boat and has just done dry January and it's just been like, oh, that was really good. Let's see what February tastes like, and then so on and so forth. Right, let's just make a little area. Get your butt out at road. Just a little one, we're not messing about. I'm just going to do a few twigs. It's not about that today. It's not about big fires, is it? What have we got to start this fire with, by the way? A poo bag? One of your poo bags? Oh, I know. He's digging. He's seen me dig there and he's thought, I'll have a bit of that. No, it's hard to do anything with sticks with him in road. You don't even know what's happening. I'm making you a steak, mate. You're going to think it's unbelievable. Most dogs just eat the same shit every day. Fern's old dog, Timber, who recently passed away, rest in peace, Timber, he would just have the same dry kibble every day. And he would just be so excited to get the same shite every day. So, same with this little ruffian. So to get a steak is unbelievable. He's not going to know what's hit him. I'm just using one of these twisted wood things from home. And a match. I do love a good match from time to time. Very simple, very easy. Little bug, get out where you'll get scorched, brother. Right then, yeah. Swill Smith. So just a bit of background, like my relationship with booze. So I grew up around booze. It's always been part of the culture. It's always been part of my life. It was there growing up and it's always just been there. And I've been a very big fan of it. I've been a big fan of the old booze. You know, I love a pub, love a beer garden, love a glass of red wine, love an ale, love a cider, love a whiskey, I love it. I do like a drink, always have. But historically, over winter, I've struggled mentally. I have a little bit of a wobble in winter. I don't, it's a mix of like seasonal affective disorder, the fact that I work outdoors and it's always a bit of a struggle, so money's always a bit tight and there's always external factors, and so 9 times out of 10 during winter, noggin will collapse in on itself a little bit. And so this year I was determined not to let that happen because we were moving into a new house and we had a lot of stuff going on. I had to be my best self, and so I set out to do that, and part of that was just quitting drinking because I thought, well, especially in New Year, it's easy just to get on the sauce, in it when it's all dark outside and miserable. It's easier to just get on the sauce. But for me, what happens is I'll get on the sauce and then I'm just not myself. For maybe a day or two afterwards, I'm just like, my vibrations are null, are like dumbed down. I'm not working at my best. I'm not working at my most optimum. You know, my brain is not firing on all cylinders, and that can be like sometimes 2 or 3 days after it, depending on how much slurp I've had. So I thought, well, I don't want that, so I'll just knock it on the head. And I was a bit worried. I thought, well, it's going to be a struggle going to parties and going to pub and all that. And I'll tell you this, it's been easy. It's been a real thing of beauty, thanks to things like Guinness Zero. And Northern Monk do one. As most breweries do a pretty decent non-alcoholic bevy nowadays, so you can have it. You don't look like you're not taking part, and people just forget. I've been to a pub. We went to a Burns night, to a party for Burns night, and there was big tables with loads of people drinking homemade wines. There was big venison cooking, and everyone was getting swilled. And I just didn't. I just stuck to sparkling water. That's another thing. Fizzy water with a bit of lime in it, or I just like the water on its own. But fizzy water, Guinness Zero was a real game changer, because it's not too dissimilar from real things. So you can have a couple of them and get away with it. But then once the party had finished, like at this Burns night, got to like 10:30, everyone was smashed, and I was like, oh, that's me done. I'm out. And I just left at a reasonable time, instead of like, what I'd normally do is just drag it out till bitter end, you know. So I've always had this like last man standing mentality as well. Like once we start to have a slurp, I'm not going until bitter end. So there's no fun left to be had. And I'm not a bad drunk. It's not like I get pissed and become violent or annoying or whatever. It's just, I'm a happy drunk. I love it. It's just how it affects me in the following days. And you know, sometimes you do wake up, or I've woke up and been like, oh no. So over winter, knocked it on head. Made some notes, look. I'll put it down there if you're reading it. So really, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to put my thoughts and findings into words, really, because they just change on the hour sometimes. I've had to really think about this, and I've even written some stuff down and left it for a few days to see if I'd change my mind, to see if it is what I really think, because a lot of the time, mate, and I'll be honest, I don't have a clue what I think about things. Like, you might ask me one day and I'll be like, yeah, that's definitely what I think. Ask me next day, no, I think the exact opposite, mate. I just don't know. I don't know, because it's hard, because you make a decision based on how you feel in that moment. You can be a different person the next day. So I like to write things down, and then if it's still like that in a few days, then it must be how I feel. So I've done that. Right, let's get this steak on go. Some of the pros, is that going to work like that? It's going to be a bit rough and ready, innit? But he's going to love this. It's a real good one from proper butchers as well. This is local beef. I'll keep trying my best to do this, to say how I feel. Oh man, I'm struggling, if I'm honest. Struggling with big camera in this light. Sorry, I have made some notes. I had to. The pros are regulate emotions. I've been able to regulate my emotions. Now that means, because when you're drinking, it's like this, like you have such highs, giddy highs, but then it's followed by lows. And when a situation comes along, if you're hungover and you have a situation that is naturally would have been sad or stressful, you're less set up to deal with that, because you're you're emotionally weak, aren't you? So if something's sad, you know, like that whole thing of like being hungover and crying at an advert or a film or something, it tugs on your heartstrings. Now that works all over the emotional spectrum, with like, you just can't regulate your emotions, so they become magnified. So something that would have been maybe a little bit sad becomes harrowingly sad. So it's been wonderful just to keep on a level and be able to regulate my emotions, not going into like a negative thought spiral, because you know, when you're hungover, you have a negative thought and that just continues. It's like an algorithm, in it. And the same with an algorithm. So you'll be hungover and you look at your phone, you're like, I want a burger or something. So you'll start watching crap about people eating shit or doing shit things, and it spirals. It gives you more of it. So you end up in this vortex that you can't get out of, because you've created an algorithm, not only in your phone, but in your life, that's a negative algorithm that keeps supplying you with it, and you attract it. Better sleep is one of the things. There's no more, like, they call it drinker's false dawn, you know, and you get up at like 3 in the morning just wide awake because you've got booze in your system. There's none of that. The sleep feels more nourishing, and on the back of that, that's the foundations for all sorts of health benefits. You don't get imposter syndrome when you don't drink, because I feel like when you're brutally hungover or when you're just been drinking a lot, you question everything. Like, what am I doing on this spinning rock? Who am I? You can get feelings of like self-doubt. The negative voice in your head, becomes just louder and louder. You don't make bad decisions with food, so you don't eat shit. Have a better diet. You save a lot of money because, especially these days, man, when times are hard and booze is expensive, and if you get around in that is crazy talk, innit? It doesn't lead to bad decisions around food, around spending money. We've all bought things we don't really need when we're pissed. And then it doesn't lead on to other things. Some of you out there might like your lotions and your potions, and a few swills, you might be like, wow, let's get us something else to keep the party going, if you know what I mean. And not drinking eliminates that as well, if that's your bag. That's your bag. And it is just nice not losing days, man, because time is very precious and you can end up losing. You know, if you, over the course of a year, you could lose about a month just being hungover. Another pro is not having to use it as a crutch, not having it as a social crutch where you're like, oh man, I've got to go meet someone, I've got to go on a date, I've got to go for a meal, I've got to go to a family event, a barbecue or whatever, and then needing alcohol as a social crutch, as a lubricant to make you confident, to make you think that you're just funny when you're pissed. Having a bit of a break from booze has made me realise that I don't need it as a crutch. I can have a wonderful time and be as daft as a brush without it. That's been a real bonus. I mean, this steak's looking fantastic. He's going to absolutely love it. Also, pro, it's been good to know my real emotions, to just raw dog life, not be able to put the blinkers on because, you know, I'm not doing anything. Like some people go Cali sober where they just smoke weed or smoke cigarettes or do mushrooms or whatever. I've just not done anything. Raw dogging life. And so if something's uncomfortable, like a thought or an emotion or a past action or something is difficult to deal with, then it's difficult to deal with and you've got to sit in it and just get better at it. It sort of calluses your mind being able to think of negative stuff and overcome it without having a swill. Because sometimes when things get a bit too much or stressful, what do? We go for a bevy. Especially in the UK. Anything happens. If something good happens, you get a promotion. Bev. Someone passes away. Bevs. Stressful day at work. Bevs. New tattoo. Bevs. Dog's hurt his foot. Bevs. Beverly Knight. But it's been good to, when something like that happens, like a heartache or a joy or whatever, is just appreciating it for what it really is and sitting in it. That's been something that I've really enjoyed. And then the cons of quitting drinking. I miss the taste of it, mate. I love the taste of a nice pint of Landlord or a glass of wine with my meal. I just love it. I miss the social aspect. I know I've said I've been going to the pub, I've gone to parties and I've had a great time. But I do miss that, like 3 or 4 pints deep, just sat talking absolute waffle with your pals. And it's also nice to have a break from your brain. It's like going on holiday from your normal way of thinking. And if you can handle that, then fair dues. I mean, some people will be watching this who just don't drink at all because it's a real problem. And then for you, I would say just don't drink, keep doing you. And more power to you. It's empowering. And it's a great thing. And if you are on a sober journey, then keep doing it, mate. It's I doff my cap to you. And there's a lot of joy to be found on that side of things. Where I'm at though now is I've got out of winter. The sun's shining. We're coming into spring, summer. I never really had a problem with booze anyway. I was just quitting to sort of give myself the best chance of getting through winter. And we've done it. And you know, I think every winter, I think I'm going to quit drinking. January, February, March. And come back out in April. I think it's a great thing to do. Gives your body a little rest. And I know now that my relationship with alcohol is different. And I know that I can go to a party and I can go to the pub and enjoy not drinking and have a good time. So what I think I'm going to do is pick my moments. And maybe once or twice a month, we'll have a drink. Maybe it'll be a bottle of wine with Fern over dinner. Maybe it'll be a skinful with some mates. few pints with my old man. And that's it, man. That's all I can say, really. It's been I'm so glad I've done it and had this time of sobriety and of clarity. And I've really enjoyed it. And it's put things into perspective. But I've done it and I'm looking forward to having a few silly days on the sauce. Because life is all about balance. And you just choose where the tipping point is for you. Shall we enjoy some of this steak anyway? I just wanted to do a little catch up with you and let you know what's going on, because I know I hadn't been posting for a while. Yeah, mate, do you want some of this? Get on this, mate. He's gonna absolutely love it. This is a rump as well. It's so tender. Right then, Gary. You wanna get in? Look at that. Beautifully pink all the way through. We love it, don't we, boy? Watch that fire. Come here. You sit. You gotta chew it. He's going mad. Never had such treats, have you? Hey? Go on then. Are you going to chew it or what? Because I brought you out here to... Oh, look at that. You've never known how to like it. Sit. Good boy. Paw. Good boy. Delicious. Give me a kiss. Thank you. Yeah, I was just focusing on other stuff for 5 weeks. So I've had to give it a break on here. But I'm back now. And so I just wanted to let you know what I've been up to. And it's let you know about my 3 months of not drinking and what I've found. Is there out better? Eh? Hanging out in woods with Mutt. And I've got a vintage backpacking gear hike coming up. Just so many things have got in the way, and some important stuff has got in the way. And so I have to go away for a little bit to deal with it. And yeah, I've got to just prioritise certain things. I've got to just prioritise things, and life comes first, I'm afraid. But I will be going on that vintage long distance hike in the next couple of weeks. But I've got plenty more stuff coming up, and I'm excited to bring it to you, and it's good to be back. And if you're going through it, mate, if you've clicked on this video just to hear about drinking and you're struggling with sobriety, or you're trying to quit yourself, then just keep going, mate. Just keep going. You're doing a great thing. Off, Nimbus, off. You're doing a great thing, and for someone who's experienced it now, because 3 months is the longest I've been since I started drinking, and it's been amazing. And if you're on that journey, salute and more power to you. It's something that's enjoyable, and in the long term, you're only doing yourself favours. Stick on the righteous path. I feel like I'm too much of a degenerate. It calls me too much. The swill. Hazy! What? And it's the swill. Swill Neville. Swill Neville. Don't forget your gloves, because when I just found these, got a little trampoline sock on. And yeah, stop you chewing your bandages. Also, if booze is kicking your ass, and in a serious way, you can just reach out, mate. Get in touch with AA and speak to someone. Make that first call. Just make that first step. And you never know, it could change your life forever. And it all it takes is to hear something from someone, doesn't it? One little thing, and it can just change your whole outlook. I remember having COVID, and it was during the pandy, and I was in a right state, man. Ed was just a complete shed, and the Scottish streamer and comedian Brian Limond, aka Limmy, got me through some horrific times, just with a few things that he said that made me laugh. And I was like, right, okay, things aren't that bad. We move. I feel like that fucking booze in England is changing. The world is changing, and people are so dependent on it now. So it's a safe space to talk, mate. You know, if you want to get down in comments on here or whatever and get a chat on, I'm sure there'll be people at all different stages of the journey. They might have done what I did and just quit for dry January and thought, you know what, I'm going to keep this going because it's great. There might be people that have been sober for 20 years. There might be people who are pissed now watching this, drinking a bevy and loving life, and more power to you. It's easy, especially with things like social media. It's easy for people to like make things very black and white. You have to be on this side or that side, and everything seems so linear, but it's not. Everything's very fluid and things can change. You don't have to be, right, I'm teetotal and that's it, or right, I'm a party animal. There's no rights or wrongs, and each thing is different for each person. And even when you find something for yourself, like I found this sobriety thing, and a few weeks ago I was like, no, this is it. Do you know what? I might not ever drink ever again. And then as the time's gone on, I'm like, do you know what? I never really had a problem with it anyway, and I just miss it. I miss that, the flavour and just that feeling and hanging out with my friends and having a drink. So that's my choice. I'm going to get back on it. But you do, you find what works for you. And if something isn't working for you, put steps in place to change it. Right, thanks for watching. It's only been a little silly one, this, hasn't it? But I was maybe going to talk about it in a camping video or something, and then I thought, well, I'll make it a standalone. Then if people are, you know, wanting to quit drinking or want some information, or I'm not giving any information really, to be fair. I don't even know if any of this has made sense, if I'm honest. Alright, so that's why I had to write bits down. But that's sort of how I feel about the whole situation. I've not really answered it because I've said, well, don't know whether I'm going to start drinking again or not, but this is what I've found. Come on, doggo. You've had a massive steak. You've loved it. I've got a silly microphone on so everyone can hear me. Come on. Oh, where's Swilliam? You coming? Hey, come on. Come on. Swill. What? You staying with lads? What are you doing? Do you know what it is? It's because it's the site of where he had the best day of his life. And that best day of his life was now, because he's never had a steak to himself like that in his life. That is the biggest and most amazing thing he's ever had. Wasn't it? He once nicked someone's 12-inch spicy Mexican sub from Subway. And that was his best day of his life until today. Oh, we're off now. See you later. Oh, then golden nuggets. Right, see you soon.